Good morning, children. In last class, we have studied about the increasing and decreasing friction. How can we decrease the friction? What is used to decrease the friction? Lubricants. Lubricants are the substance which reduce the friction. What are the examples for the lubricants? Oil, grease are called as lubricants. Okay, today class we'll be learning about effect of rollers on friction. So we have studied about three types of friction. This one, what are they? Static, sliding, and friction we have learned. Now we'll be rolling friction. We'll be learning about how this friction helps us to move the objects. Here when you observe, the boy is pulling the suitcase, where the suitcase is having wheels. So without wheels, does it move easily? No, it cannot. Do the wheels only what happens on the road? We can move easily. So here pulling of a suitcase is easy by having rollers. So another example here, let us take a book. Two books. One book is normal placed on the floor, and another keeping the 2 or 3 pencils. Let us consider the black ones are the pencils, and on the top we have kept the book. So which one is easy for us to move? When we move, just what happens? This book, second book, moves easily because of the pencils here. And what happens to the first one? It moves some distance and it stops. So here the pencils will be acting as a friction. It rolls on other surface and it slides. This type of friction is called as a rolling friction. Let us see the correct definition for it. When one body rolls over the surface of another body, the friction offered is called as rolling friction. Means on the surface of the other body, the friction offered is called as a rolling friction. And another example we can see here. The other example for the rolling friction is the principle of ball bearings. What do you mean by ball bearings? Nothing but it is also one type of lubricants. So mainly where does we see these ball bearings? In the vehicles. In the vehicles we can observe, in the bikes and the vehicles will be observing the ball bearings. So let us take two lids. So when we roll one surface of the other surface, what happens? Does it roll? No. It is very hard for us to roll. Another one, when we observe, by taking the two lids, let us keep the marbles in between on one top of the other. So when we roll, it is easy for us to roll because of here rolling friction. What happens? It moves easily. Means the two surfaces help us to easy. So this is the third type of the friction, rolling friction. Let us see another fluid friction. Another one, fluid friction. Let us take a glass full of water or half of water. Let us, with the help of the spoon, let us make stirring. What happens? Okay. Even if you are stopping the stirring of a spoon, what happens? The water moves continuously. The water moves continuously. The surface of the glass and the water makes the water to move. This type of friction. This is a contact between the glass surface and the water. Yes or no? So until and unless the frictional force acting between these two, it makes to rotate. And after some time, what happens? It comes to, due to the frictional force, it reduces and it comes to a rest position. Okay, according to science, when we see here, fluids are what? Where liquids and the gases are called as fluids, isn't it or not? Yes. So what we call the fluids as liquids and gases are called as fluids. So we can give name for fluid friction as also drag. Okay, the frictional force exerted by the fluids are called as drag. Drag means nothing but another name for fluid friction. So this is the fourth type of friction. So let us see factors affecting the fluid friction. So here when we observe for the rolling, starting and sliding friction, where we does not depend upon any factors, but here for the fluid friction we'll be seeing two types of nature of factors affecting fluid. Before that one, let us see a small activity. Before that one, let us see a small activity. That one, take a bucket full of water. Stretch your hand in such a way that so when you take one bucket full of water, make your hand like this. What happens? It moves. When we perpendicular keep like this your hand and move inside the water, what happens? It is hard for us to move our hand into, because some force is exerting in upward direction. Yes or no? That is nothing but a fluid friction acting upon our fingers. So this fluid friction depends upon the three. Let us see depending upon the speed, shape and nature of objects. So three types. What are they? Factors affecting speed, nature of the object and shape of an object. When you consider the bird and the aeroplane here, what happens? The bird and the aeroplane have the same shape. Is it or not? Yes. It makes the wings to move, resist the air moving friend. Is it or not? So like in fishes in the waters, they have the fins to move. Yes or no? This makes to resist the water to move in a front direction. This is how the aeroplane and the bird and the fishes are having a different shape in order to move in water or in the air. Okay, this is about fluid friction. Totally in this lesson we have learned about 4 types of friction. So we have completed the lesson. Write blanks in your notebook. Okay children, thank you.